The DJI Mini 3, and I don't mean the Mini 3 Pro, just the standard Mini 3. It's time to take this guy for a flight. Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, the venerable DJI Mini 3, it is, I would say, I'm going to call it one of their premium, part of their premium line of mini drones. I think it starts with the Mini 3, the Flip, and then the Mini 4 Pro. Now the Mini 3 Pro I don't think is for sale anymore on DJI's website. You might be able to find one new someplace, or certainly you can find them used. But you can still get the standard Mini 3, and it offers a lot. It's got that same 1/1.3 sensor that the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 4 Pro and the DJI Flip have, so it takes some pretty good video. It doesn't have quite the frame rate as those other drones, but it does a lot of things good. It has no obstacle avoidance. You might think these are obstacle avoidance on the front, but they're not. It only has downward sensors, so understand that you could fly this drone right into something. But it has a ton of features on it, and for the price, I believe it's $439 for the single battery version with just the RCN2 controller, I believe it is, and I know it's on OcuSync too. I just happen to have a DJI RC from another drone, so I went ahead and bound it to the Mini 3, and we're going to take this guy for a flight, and yeah, let's just check it out. So give me a second here, let's get this bird in the air, and we'll just take it for a nice flight. Okie dokie, I got a screen recorder started, and we've got 25 satellites. I did some firmware updates on the drone, so we're down to 89% battery, but that'll be plenty of time to do what we want to do. Let's check the safety menu. Kind of interesting, I forgot, it's been a while since I've used just the standard DJI RC. It is a lot slower than the RC, or the DJI RC2. But let's take a look here. We've got our settings. We're going to go to max distance. I think this is the first time I've used this particular RC. 120 meters max altitude. Of course, that's max legal. Not asking for any compass calibrations. Battery info, we can take a look at that. That looks good. Let's see what, shoot, I didn't mean to go clear out of that. Let's go back, and I want to check our return to home height. We don't need 100 meters. We're going to go to about 35 meters here. That is plenty. One of the things that I've noticed on the About page here is if you look at the app version, it's not the latest version. We really want 1.16.4, but this is 1.13.13. Now, I tried to force an app update and couldn't get it to do it. So there's a few features that we probably will not have, and I was told in comments on one of my last videos that with this RC, the DJI RC, it won't accept that newest version of the Fly app, so you don't get that pop-up where you can change your return to home on that one-touch screen when you hit RTH. So anyway, that is what it is. Now, you should still be able to modify return to home in here. Let's go back to safety, and yeah, you can see where it says update home point, and boy, I'll tell you what, this thing is sluggish when you touch. Yeah, aircraft has to be in flight, so we can't do that yet. But let's switch. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Let's switch into video mode, and 4K 30 I believe is our top resolution. We're going to look at that. Maybe, yeah, 4K 30, that's our top resolution on this drone. So yeah, let's go ahead and start recording, and I'm going to go ahead and do an auto takeoff on the app right now. Holding down that takeoff button.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
And I forgot this guy shuts off because this original DJI RC is not powerful enough. It shuts off Wi-Fi once you get in the air. Okie dokie, there are a lot of people in the park today, so we're going to be careful make sure that we're not flying over the top of anybody, but I think we can do that. Let's do our droning. I'm amongst a bunch of trees here, so I think we're good, but reversing up now, reverse and up. And we're sending that drone way up there through the trees, and we'll go back over the top of the park here, and I'll get back here far enough, and we'll kind of just give you a look. Let's see, how high are we? Well, we can go a little higher than that. We're about 38 meters high, and let's kind of give you a look at the park. So spring is kind of sprung. It's in the low 60s right now. We got a pretty good wind. I think it said 12 mile an hour sustained and like 24 mile an hour gusts, which is okay for this little drone. And I still call it the winter sun, I guess. You're going to see it off in the distance over here. So we're kind of looking into the sun right now, and but we'll get the sun behind the drone here in a second and give you a better look. So I just want to give you an idea of the video quality of this drone. So let's go out over the pond, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at there's some people there, so we're going to go thread the needle here, and we're going to get out over the pond. I'm going to drop that camera down and kind of give you a look. If you look off in this area over here, picking the camera back up, yeah, I think I can get in here, and you can see the reflection of the sun on the pond there off, and that's the play area right there, and there were a bunch of people over there earlier, so we're going to stay clear of that. But let's go down. Let's just take a look at the pond here and kind of look around. It is a very comfortable. This is probably the most comfortable day that we've had in months. So it feels pretty good. So I'm in normal mode here, and you see a few waterfowl down there. What do? We always got to do a little rotation around the fountains here, trying to fly and talk at the same time. So let's do that. And this is just a manual rotation, and I'm in normal mode. And you know, typical of DJI, we get some really nice flight controls here. So yeah, I like it. You can see a lot of people fishing. We're only about 8 meters off of the pond. There's a bunch of ducks right there, so let's get some altitude. If those guys, I wouldn't want them to fly up into the drone, right? So let's go out here for a ways, and I'll give you, let's go over the other pond here, and I'll kind of give you an idea of top speed of this drone. So we're at top speed in normal mode. There is almost, not quite 10 meters per second. We were at 9.9 there for a second. You see somebody down there on the little pier fishing. Pretty cool that they supply those kind of things. Lots of people fishing at these ponds. Now, I can tell you my personal idea is that they ought to leave that for the kids, because you know what? If you're an adult, you can go out to the lake or the river or whatever. I'd say leave these fish for the kids, but that's just me. So we're in normal mode. Let's go. Let me grab some altitude. Let's go full tilt this direction, and let's see. I think we're going to be, it's kind of against the wind. We're not doing too bad. There's 10 meters per second. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to put it into sport mode here, and this has a top speed of 16 meters per second. This drone does. So let's just see if we can get there. And you can see, okay, we're going to steer clear of these folks. And there we are, 16 meters per second. So let me back it off here and turn around. We're going to look into the sun here for a second. And there's going to be a ton of people over there at the, You're going to see a bunch of people over here playing, well, not as many as I thought, playing pickleball. We're not going to get any closer than that. There's a lot of folks over there on the side of the hill, etc. There were a bunch of people over there playing pickleball earlier. I guess this is a good time to show you zoom. So this guy, I think, is it 2 or 3 times zoom? I think, yeah, just 2 times zoom on this guy. So that was a real quick zoom. Looks like we've only got a couple courts in use. But it's just cropping in on the sensor. So let's back it off. Both the Flip in the Mini 4 Pro will go up to 3x zoom in 4K. But again, understand that's just cropping in on the sensor. And the other thing about this drone is shooting, yeah, we're getting a wind warning here, so I'm going to bring it back towards us and bring it down a little bit. Let's kick it into gear here and get going this direction. Yeah, I'm feeling a pretty good wind gust, so evidently the drone's feeling that too. Yeah, the wind warning went away, so that's a good thing. Let's head over this way and get to the other end of the park, and I'll show you around there a little bit. And then I want to take you through the features that this drone offers. And we are threading the needle there. I see some people there. There's a guy there. So we're going to stay on the other side here. And, you know, anybody that follows my channel knows that one of my favorite things to do is to do some orbits on these sculptures. So we're going to try that. Let me drop the camera down, and I'm going to go back into got back into normal mode there. Sorry about that. Let's get down a little lower, and let's just see if we can do. I'm going to try and go clockwise, which is not my natural. I'm used to going counterclockwise with the controller. Clockwise is not what I typically do, but let's see how I do here. And it's when you're doing this manually, it's super easy to cross couple. In other words, you're either getting further away or closer to whatever that item is you're rotating. But thanks to DJI's flight controls, I think we're doing pretty good here, so I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Okay, I'm going to go up here, and we're going to just look at some of the other things that this drone can do. And so I'm going to stop recording right now, and I want to show you some other things in the menu. So in the menu here, we've got quick shots. And yeah, because it's the first time I've used this controller, it's trying to take me through a tutorial. But let's see, we are going to do let's just do a quick helix around this thing. I'm going to do a point of interest. If I can get rid of this, that animation. There we go. Yeah, so, well, maybe it got it. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's see how it does. And it says it's going to count down 30-meter radius, so this is going to be a huge one. Yeah, it looks like we got that point of interest pretty good. I was trying to get the top of the sculpture. But I just wanted to show you that this drone does have quick shots in it, and it's a really cool way to get some automate some cinematic shots. I always tell people this helix in particular is really tough to do manually, because you're trying to raise up, orbit, and move away all at the same time, again creating that corkscrew effect. So it could be really tough to do manually, and as you can see, it gives us a good look at the park here. I like it. It's pretty good. And there it ends, and it should return. Yeah, it'll return to its original spot, and you can cancel that by just clicking on that red X if you want to cancel it. So it'll take it just a second to get back here. Then as soon as you see that green dot, it's done again. But I'm going to click on that helix icon again, and you can see we've got droney, rocket, circle, helix, and boomerang. Excuse me, boomerang on this one. So, you know what? I thought that this had master shots, but it does not. You don't get master shots on the Mini 3 standard, but you do get panos. So I think we should do that. Let's go into pano, but let's fly up someplace. Let's see. Well, shoot, you know what we want to do? Let's just turn around this way. And let's get a shot of the Boise front, and we've got the sculpture in the middle here. So what I'm going to do is a wide-angle pano, and that just creates a big square. It takes 9 shots. So let's hit that button right now, and it's doing a pano, and it should stitch that together for us, and we'll have a nice pano on the micro SD card. Now, if it doesn't stitch together and you don't find it on your micro SD card, you can download it to the camera roll on your mobile device from the drone itself in the Fly app. Okay, we're down to 38% battery, so we better get with the program here. So let's look at photos too. We haven't looked at that yet. So let's click on photo. And you can do, I thought this thing would go up to 48 megapixels, so I'm going to move forward. Well, I don't know. Now let's just trying to think of something good, something different to take a picture of here that we haven't, you know, I already got that, the pano of the mountains there, the Boise front. Let's see if we can get the flag and the fallen soldier memorial here. This is a memorial to Idaho's fallen soldiers, and this would be a good. This is a good picture because look at the winds, just right. Let's get the sun behind us, so we get the best shot. Yeah, I need to, because the way the wind's blowing, I want to get those flags. There we go. I think that's pretty good, don't you? We can get down lower, and I think that's going to be a nice shot. So let's center it up just a little bit, and so we can do a single shot. So let's do a single shot in 12 megapixel, and then I'm going to switch it to 48 megapixel, and let's just see if we see any difference in those two shots. We can put them side by side on the screen. So there you go. Boy, that's going to look really good, I think. All right, we are down to 32% battery, so let's bring this guy home. Let's go back into video and start video again. And man, that is a great shot, isn't it? Man, I'll tell you what. There's some people walking up there, so we're going to stay clear of them, but we're off this direction, and we got a pretty clear line of sight here. Let's hit return to home. I'm going to do that on the controller, hitting that button.
Return to home.
And you will notice you don't see any green line. This one does not have the augmented reality that you see on like the Flip or the Pro, the Mini 4 Pro, or the Air 3 or the Air 3S or the Mavic 3 Pro, etc. But it still comes right back to us here. And I'm right between in that grove of trees. I'm going to drop the camera down as we go. I don't think that this drone pretends to have any kind of precision landing, but we'll see how close it gets here. And I can see I don't have grid lines. I didn't set up grid lines on the camera here. So let's see if we can do that here. Camera, grid lines, turn them all on and get out of there. Yeah, okay, so we got grid lines, and it's a little bit off, so I'm not going to let it land in the grass. As soon as it gets down here a ways, I'm going to pause. So we're hitting pause now. Okay, let's bring it down and see if we can get it over the landing pad here. There we are. We're pretty close. That looks good. Okay, it's starting to squawk at me. I'm going to pull down on that left stick, straight down. One more time, straight down. I paused there for a second. Straight down.
Landing.
And there we are on the pad. Let me get it all shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the DJI Mini 3, not the Mini 3 Pro, just the Mini 3, right there, Mini 3. What a bargain. So this drone, I believe, is, well, hang on, I think I have that in my pocket here. I'm going to tell you the cost. $419 for the standard kit. In other words, just the DJI RCN2 controller and one battery, $419. Well, you saw the capabilities of this drone. It's a bargain at that. Now, for some reason I was thinking it had master shots. It does not. And now that I think about it, the only drones they put master shots on typically have some kind of obstacle avoidance on them, and this one doesn't have that. But it's a very capable drone. You saw speed-wise, and it handled the wind. It's a pretty windy day here today, and other than one wind warning, we didn't even know it, and it held the camera nice and steady. So yeah, just a great little piece of tech at a bargain price. So I'm going to call this the entry-level premium mini drone from DJI. If you go below that, you can get a DJI Mini 4K, which has a smaller sensor and has the Mini 2 style airframe for right around $300, and often it'll be on sale for less than that. That's just a steal. But if you spend a little bit more money, you get this bigger sensor. And I didn't show you, but this camera, if you look at this camera, it will spin vertical too. And so if you want to do vertical video for social media and so forth, this is one of the guys that you can do that with. Very compact, very easy to use. So just hadn't flown this a while, and I've had people asking me, hey, when are you going to fly that Mini 3 again? So we did. And I had a lot of fun, actually, flying it around a park here. This is such a great park for flying a drone. There's just a lot of cool stuff to look at. But at any rate, that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I just so appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The DJI Mini 3 Standard. Cool drone.